Perfect. Go ahead, Kiki.
Okay.
I'll go ahead.
All right, Mr. Okay, producer. Well, first of all, you have an app out right now.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your app named Rank.
It's called Ranked. We're releasing it at the end of 2017.
Okay.
It is a consumer and enterprise app that has 3 bits of specific functionality. The first bit of functionality allows you to upload videos and pictures into 70 different categories.
Oh gosh.
And you have sports, music, dance, tech, fashion, design. And within a 7-day period, if your video is ranked the highest in that specific category, you win a connection to a brand and prizes from that brand.
How does it get ranked? How does it get ranked?
I don't know.
It's crowdsourced. So
From the people that have that.
Yes, you have users who sign up and they are looking at dunks, they're looking at interceptions, they're looking at fashion, they're looking at design, they're looking at tech, and it's really sort of a true consumerism approach to crowdsourcing opinions.
So I feel like it's capitalizing on Instagram a little bit.
It is.
Like, you know, you have the best picture wearing a different, like, you know, brand. You're like, okay, well, you're number one.
Like,
so.
is there a way to integrate with Instagram with this? Because I feel like it's so hard for people to get people to download an app that, you know what I mean?
They've never heard about, right?
Yeah, and they've heard about it, and it has the same kind of information that Instagram offers you on Explore page. It's like, why would we want to download that app?
Exactly.
So what are you doing to market it that way?
We are not opposed to partnering with Facebook and Instagram. Obviously, there's something there that Zuckerberg and the entire team are doing that I think it's 200 million users a month.
Yeah.
So they're doing something right. But what differentiates us is we allow real-time interactivity. Users can connect to TV networks. Users can connect to sports games. So, for instance, you're watching the All-Star dunk contest next year in real time on Ranked.
You can watch it in real time?
And rank it in real time. So someone
they
can
offer that you could watch the whole thing if you don't have the channel.
Exactly. So what we're partnering, we're going to partner with NBC Universal, CBS,
cool.
TNT, the NBA,
That's
NFL.
really, what about games and stuff?
Yeah.
You can watch games
You
on
can watch
Ranked?
games. You can live interactivity is what Ranked is all about.
Wait, so are you ranking the individual dunks, or are you ranking the fact that it's the All-Star Dunk Contest?
Videos.
The individual performances.
Okay.
So a dunk happens, and in real time, the announcer can basically say, well, 20,000 of you voted and ranked.
Right.
That dunk is ranked 9.7.
They could use that at the All-Star game. Like that, you know how they do, like, okay, who's the winner? They could use whoever, you know, voted,
Yeah.
Well,
who
taking
actually
that TV
won.
interactivity
Yeah.
and just
The
landing it
real-
on
Which
that,
is
that's
like,
awesome.
Yes.
I feel like it's definitely the next big thing.
Yes.
It's being able to interact with the broadcasters and what's going on, in the system. So it's launching in soon.
We're pushing for a launch at the end of 2017. We're the infrastructure for sort of live ranking, and there's a lot when it comes to tech. It's just like a TV production or a film production. A lot has to be put in on the back end for the front end to work. So we're partnering. We have an amazing investor right now in Charles Floyd Johnson. Charles Floyd Johnson is the executive producer of NCIS, and he also produced Red Tails with George Lucas. Just a smart guy, and I've known him for a little while, and he knows that we have the potential to partner with CBS and some of their OTT subscription services. So we can partner. We're having a conversation. My cousin is Chris Humphries, and he's advising us on the sports side. That's awesome. We can really partner. We can partner with any and everyone. And there's another bit of functionality that is really cool. So if you're in your app, you can go into any big box retailer and hold your phone over a product.
Oh, yeah, and then they tell you what the product is.
Yeah, the product pops up in your phone, and you can rank that product between 1 and 10 and send that feedback directly to the retailer or manufacturer.
Now,
That's crazy.
Is that going into like scannables like QR and stuff like
UPC
that,
code.
or UPC code? So
Yeah.
it's using that, or is it using the actual product?
What we want to do is have recognition software.
Right, like
yeah,
you have
so
for,
you're holding it over,
for
an
Google
Apple
and stuff
Watch.
like that.
Do they not
or
have
some
apps
phones.
like that yet, where you can just look at take a picture of a statue and they're like, this is King.
Well, like there's functionality on Google where you can take
Google,
an image
it's
and you
Google.
can search for images that match that image. So there's probably some
You
API
can do that
that
on
you can do.
Amazon.
That's interesting though. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
yeah.
do that on Amazon. That sounds like a commercial for Amazon.
You're
can do that on
from
Amazon.
LA.
I'm
Can
from
you
LA.
tell us a little bit about your journey of how this all started? Like who are you? I mean, I get you're a tech guy, but where did it start?
It really started for me when I did a television show called Sports Science. We measured the biomechanics and the physics of athletic performances, and the science aspect was so vibrant and real for me that I wanted to figure out not just what the athletes were thinking, because ranked allows them to know where they rank, where Kevin Durant ranks, where Kobe Bryant, where Allen Iverson, or where a Jordan last-minute shot would rank among all last-minute shots, but really
so
where the
Black
user
Mirror of content.
I know. No, seriously. He just
But
Take it to the next
what
level.
was sports science about?
Sports Science, we measured the greatest performances. We broke down the greatest sports performances of all time with
awesome.
science.
Do you
It's
ball?
awesome.
Are you a baller? Are you?
I played football at Hampton University, tried out for the
Nice.
Redskins, and got
Whoa.
my behind handed to me handily by Daryl Green and some other because I was a wide receiver.
Nice.
And it's just another
Shout out.
level those guys
Yeah,
are
100%.
on. But the behind or under the hood is where it really sort of it came to fruition for me, because I wanted to see how these athletes are ranking among other athletic performances, and why not have passionate fans ranking these
Their own people,
performances,
right.
because we all have our favorite dunk, we all have our favorite play. Now in real time
You can see what the number one.
can-
And it's not just off of like views or like, oh, this many people looked
Right.
at this thing. It's
Or
actually
like the 4
thumbs up.
judges.
Yeah.
Now here's my question: is it as a user, not necessarily an uploader, as somebody who's using it and going through ranking, watching, viewing the content? Is it just simple thumbs up, thumbs down, and then it kind of aggregates all those numbers and says this has the most thumbs up, or is it a
No.
5-star thing?
Yes, it's
okay.
you can rank between 1 and 10.
Okay. Wow.
So what Instagram and Facebook do
That's
is
really specific.
It's quantitative.
Yeah.
So they're talking about how many likes you're getting. We're qualitative. We're
Right.
talking about the best.
Right.
We're talking about this is definitively better than the rest. So someone has a piece of content will have a 9.5 or a 9.7.
That's awesome.
Are
So-
people able to comment on, okay, say for instance, Kevin Durant gets like a 2 or whatever, and so then they do like the comments or whatever. Is he able to like comment back instead of taking it to Twitter like he did last time?
Does he have to make a fake one, or
Right. Yeah, we want that interactivity because we want people to immediately be able to move the needle on something that Steph Curry does or Kevin Durant does.
100%.
And we want them to be able to bite back. We want them to say, wait, okay, well, why didn't I get? So we want that real
Okay,
live
so
interactivity.
I signed up for Rank today.
Fantastic. Thank
And
you. Thank you.
when I opened it, it kind of looked like Instagram. The first page, it was like pictures. What does that mean? The first page is like pictures. What is that?
That we have an algorithm that tells you what's trending.
Okay, so it's like the hottest topics on
Yeah.
the first page.
Yeah, top
So you
10.
help.
It's literally like Instagram, so you could like it and then click on it, and then you go to search and you can find
All the different
dance,
categories.
music, sports,
Yes,
lifestyle, and
yes,
tech.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So what it allows is for you to instantly and quickly find the best content.
The latest.
The latest and the best.
And the best.
Because what we're
Most
going to
popular.
do, we're going to allow that the top 10 ranked
That's
pieces
pretty
of content
cool.
It's
to
dope
hit
be-
your
That is
feed
pretty cool.
immediately without
I'd
you
use
having
it.
to literally search
Yeah,
for
because I mean,
hashtags
when we
and-
search for things or when we see the popular things, there's like the explore page or like everyone's tweeting it or
Right.
but we never have it all in one joint.
And
Yeah.
you said it
Yeah.
earlier, the difference between qualitative and quantitative, and when they kind of broke the whole system with hashtags. When you could go to a certain hashtag and say, okay, hashtag basketball. Now here's all stuff that's included in hashtag basketball. So to take the analytics of it and turn that
Yeah,
into a
that's
full
great.
platform. That's
Yeah, I'm gonna take this
Yeah.
tonight and make my own.
I think people will actually really use this because you know how on Instagram they have like the sponsored content. People, if it gets a lot of views, you're able to
Sponsor your
have it
stuff.
sponsored like
Yeah.
on your page. People use this for an opportunity to capitalize on like getting signed.
Yeah.
Say for instance, a girl wants to get signed by a modeling agency or something, and like she has the hottest model picture out there.
Yes.
She
Yeah.
able to get
she
in
can just
contact
post it.
with
She can just
the-
post it herself.
Yes.
Ranked and then like
Yeah.
have it just pop up.
Well, I think one of the biggest catalysts also behind Ranked is hearing Jay-Z's comment about we are culture, nothing moves without us, but we're continually to give it away, is allowing young brown and black kids to own their content and make it their own economy. Because there is something wrong where your content goes out there and it's swept up by an advertiser, it's swept
Yeah.
up by somebody.
Yeah,
I
100%.
want to connect these kids in, you know, underprivileged areas, and kids that look like us, connect them to brands, connect them to advertisers, connect them to major Fortune 500 companies, and own their own make their own economy.
That's
social
Make
media.
opportunities.
And so now, from the B2B perspective for the companies, how does that? Because that's a whole nother situation.
Yeah. What's great is the B2B aspect is something that I've struggled with as a producer, because we tend to sample opinions on the business side, and we're talking about focus groups. We'll take 10 people and make that count for 1 million. Nielsen has 50,000 households, and they'll make that count for 300 million.
Followers on Instagram. That's a perfect example. It's does not.
No, not at all.
Quantify.
There are over 5 billion users of mobile phones in the world. It's time that we can actually measure real views and content without having to, you know, say, oh, a Gallup poll for an exit, you know, during the voting, when you're exit polling. They interview 500 people and make it count for 5 million. It's like, no.
It's like presidential voting. I feel like we should all be able to vote on our phones and just make it happen.
Exactly.
And like you can only vote from your phone. It's like people can't go to the polls all the time. It's like, and voting day should be no work day. Like everyone should be able to go to vote. Don't you think?
Everybody vote for Ivana Rojas.
Vote for me.
That's what she's
you
really
have one
getting
day
at.
with no work. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
But yes, make this is a computer in our pocket.
Yeah.
It is the most
Honestly.
valuable asset
It's
we have.
crazy.
Make it work. We're crowdsourcing opinions. So that is what Ranked is really all about.
Cold-blooded.
Because we're all doing that, but it's just all like in different segments, and it's not really like all together. So you're making it all come together.
Exactly. Yeah.
So cool. Why didn't I think of this?
Alrighty
That's
then.
That's how you know it's a good idea.
We're going to answer that question why Kiki could not think of this after this break. We'll be right back. We'll be right back with Taylor Humphries, DJ Mr. Reed.
There it is.
Executive
Fourth
producer.
segment.
Fourth segment?
I said fourth segment.
okay.
It's coming out.
There it is. So we were just talking about Ranked.
Yes.
And on the break, we spoke a little bit about how you're able to connect these brands again with the influencers and cut kind of through all of the
BS.
fakery, the BS, the fake stuff. As far as if I have 10 million followers and you know, let's just say they're following Ivana because Ivana's got her butt out on Instagram.
Okay,
go
hold
find
on.
her.
My heart out. My heart.
Go follow
Not my
Ivana
butt,
Reds.
my heart.
Go follow Ivana Reds if you want to see her
Definitely
butt
got
out.
your heart out today.
You got a that
Anything
button. You're missing the button right
Anything
there. Is that your heart? Is that what that is? Because I'm drooling. I thought it was your heart. Okay.
You guys, I'm done.
So
You guys are awesome, by the way. This is
Thanks,
fantastic.
we love you.
Taylor,
Having
help
fun.
me.
Okay.
Having fun. So you're able to cut kind of through all of that because just because everyone
That's a
follows
good
her
point.
with her butt out doesn't mean that I'm necessarily going to purchase anything that she tries to sell me.
Right.
So you're able to
Yes, you will.
connect the brand. You're able to connect the
With
brands
this little butt.
that actually want to get in contact with the people who really can move the needle.
Exactly. Ranking is so we did research, a lot of research before we created the
Ooh,
app,
do tell.
and Nobel Prize winning scientist Daniel Kahneman said the ranking of something is a shortcut to thinking because it engages our fast, intuitive, and emotional thought process, and everybody's been ranking since we were yay high. We on the playground. During sort of a pickup basketball game, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as the people were chosen. You were ranking them. So we want to really put we want to put mathematics into understanding the science behind social media and allowing people to, one, not just be connected like we were talking about earlier on a quantitative level, but a qualitative level, the best rise to the top, and you can find that.
Yeah, that's crazy because there's so much content on social media, like
Yeah,
so much,
it's
and
too
only
much.
too much. Only certain people get discovered, but there's so much more to get discovered. So if it's able to rank that,
Well,
like Kiki would be at the top right now, right? Let's go.
Oh, girl, stop hyping me. Stop. She's saying that.
but
because of
but it does also keep the big fish from staying at the top. If they're not, if
the
you're not,
monopoly is some crap.
absolutely, and you see that a lot, especially in just entertainment when you
Yeah.
have these, let's say the skit creators, and they just have so many followers that now your feed is flooded with the worst skits that you've ever
The
seen.
worst.
Well, I I have
Whereas
a question.
some
with
random
that.
person could have.
I wanted to even the playing field. We all know the mannequin challenge. That mannequin
I love
challenge was
that.
created by a 14-year-old black girl from Houston in high
No
school.
way.
And she didn't make a dime
No.
from the mannequin challenge.
Wait.
A dime. Not
Did you guys
even
know that?
A dollar. And I
is
want
she?
to say, listen, if you create a trend and it gets a high ranking,
100%.
we're going to make economy for you. You're going to make money for yourself through
That's dope.
ranked.
That's so.
So are you
dope.
saying that you're gonna pay these people?
The sponsors of each category. So we can have Apple sponsor a tech category. We can have Under Armour.
What's
we
the
can
app?
have
I'm
Jordan
downloading
brand.
this right now.
No. Speaking of category, do you think that you guys should control what people categorize their video as? So, like the good point of James, because there's a bunch of girls on Instagram right now who has like millions of followers only solely because they show off their body.
Right.
So, say for instance, they're trying to promote like a bathing suit brand or something like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you able to differentiate the people who say, oh, I'm under this category, so I can get this
quality
amount.
control.
Yeah.
So once you go into the app at goranked.com, you can go into the search category and you see sports, music, dance,
Lifestyle, tech.
style. Look at you. I like it.
Oh, I'm ready.
But those categories break up into over 70 different categories. So the young lady who's in a bikini would upload a video under fashion or design or style. Lifestyle is a category that a lot of Instagram followers fall under. So you can find any flavor, taste, any kind of video or picture you want on Ranked.
Okay.
So how are you gonna market it for people to like veer out of Instagram and start doing ranked? I would love to know that.
Well,
I'm already sold. You get to
I mean, I'm sold, but
get
it
something out of
has to
it.
be like on a bigger platform. Like
Well,
it's complicated to
can-
start a whole new venture.
Before you
Yeah.
answer that question, I'm
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off
Yeah.
because this may help out with whatever she was asking you.
Okay.
You're not necessarily saying you're just adding a different version of an Instagram. You're saying this is the quality Instagram. Go on here and you're going to see
Okay.
quality content
Right.
for whatever it is you're looking for specifically, instead of just necessarily a big mass amount of people. Just like everything smashed into one thing that's Instagram.
so
Yeah.
it would be like Instagram.
I think what differentiates, us from the Instagrams or the Musical.lys or the Snapchats is some companies like that, some like the majors, are all about their features. We are going to be more of a product company because our B2B play is very heavy. We're going to allow networks to really have better data through mobile measuring. Because I was having a conversation with Blackish creator Kenya Barris, and we were just saying, I said, you know what? Imagine being able to internally know that Blackish is ranked a 9.8. You can use that internally, but you can also put that on a billboard, and people would immediately get it. And Nielsen is kind of antiquated because they're giving you shares, they're giving you all sorts of different numbers that you can't decipher, or you need an entire a whole other group of people to decipher.
Right.
We all know what a 9.9 is. We all know what an 8.0 is. So
Essentially, you're just simplifying it. What
exactly.
Nielsen is doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say you have a Nielsen ability right here, because that Nielsen is based on Nielsen boxes, correctly, which
Yes.
is spread out among whatever the sample size is for that area. That
50,000 for 300 million.
there it is. Yeah.
And I mean, we can get into a whole story about how it doesn't necessarily represent people of color, Nielsen. There's a whole
Absolutely.
different thing, and I think that anyone who has an opinion watching any show, Blackish, watching Old Different World, watching any sports, anything on TV,
Undisputed.
the cool thing, yes, Undisputed. The cool thing is you can also in real time rank a red carpet show. You can rank fashion on a red carpet. You can rank
And
competition
so,
shows.
like E, for example, could use that for themselves and be like, okay, so this is what you guys thought about. You know what I mean?
This is dope. This is gonna be very
About the
disruptive in the
situation.
marketplace. It's gonna be very disruptive in that it's going to force people to create quality content. A
Yeah.
and B, it's going to hold the different people accountable, because now you can't just push Friends to 25 seasons. You know,
Right.
not to be I love Friends, but I'm just saying there's going to be content that needs to be at that level all the time for it to stay on air or whatever. Because as soon as they drop below 6% on ranked, it's like, oh,
Right.
you're under 6 points on ranked. We got to get rid of you.
And
Sorry.
how
Sorry.
often are like Nielsen ratings like taken? Is it like a weekly?
Every night. If you have a weekly
Or
show,
is it every night?
it's every
But I'm
week.
saying how the results are released every night.
Yeah.
So yours is going to be released pretty much every second.
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're taking the we're crowdsourcing opinions and making it count, because I think we're in a time where we can't get in trouble with other social media companies because they have a responsibility to put out truthful information, and they have algorithms. We've seen what happened with Facebook. We have to be careful putting out fake stories. But technology can also work for you, and we're allowing people who have opinions, anybody, anywhere, in Beverly Hills to the middle of Detroit, where my grandmother lives, off of Tireman and Livernois. You can rank and let your opinion be heard and move the needle on any piece of content.
And not only like Nielsen, and that's kind of based off of if they watch the show, correct?
True.
And how
So
long
that's not necessarily I like it. That's just I'm just kind of watching it to see if I like it.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So in this, you're actually saying I like this.
Yeah.
I'm liking it, or I'm ranking it to whatever it is.
And
Yeah.
how do you what if people create like fake profiles and like just to make sure it gets like even more? How do you guys kind of filter that out?
You have to have monitors. You have to have people who make sure that they're not uploading, something that's sort of baked in or faked.
fake,
And
that's
it's,
what I'm
you
saying.
have to, I think any sort of social media play or anything that lives in an app, you have to just be careful.
So do you guys have
to
a whole
monitor it.
team ready and to go?
We will.
How? Oh, you
Yes.
will.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that
So-
kind of like the
Are you
like?
taking applications?
Yes.
Have you
Bye,
seen,
Ballers World.
have you seen those videos where like an eagle will come out of the sky and grab a kid or something like that? Have you seen that? There's like a viral video.
What are you
where-
watching, Mr.
No, that is-
Yeah, he has
it's like
3
the fake-
kids.
the
Like
fake
fake
videos.
videos,
Yeah, the fake
yeah.
videos. Yeah.
So like something like
But
that.
even that, sometimes that falls into just that's part of content, right? Like
Yeah,
we're
it's like a
sitting here
meme.
and there's a lot of fake stuff going on all the time. So
yeah.
the fact that you
I'm
I
not
gotta
like that.
stop.
Anyways,
But to clarify,
is there a category for that? That's what I'm
there
asking.
can be, and the great thing about Ranked is if you wanted to create a new category or
Like-
subcategory,
Like the greatest edits
Yes.
ever,
Greatest-
maybe.
greatest DJs.
It's like Vine.
Great-
Very fun.
DJ.
Oddly
It's
enough,
Vine.
I already trust me.
he's like, I got 10 videos ready to go.
DJ AM. People have been uploading DJ
Oh my
AM's videos
God.
left
Yeah.
and right, and they've been ranking them like crazy because you want to promote, you want to say this was my favorite DJ,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of passion behind
Oh, yeah,
DJ AM.
definitely.
I knew him as a
I
friend.
have on YouTube. I have like favorites of video
Right.
DJ videos that I like.
Right.
And that's just for me, pretty
Yeah.
much. But I
Yeah.
guess I could share those with the people on Ranked.
Yeah.
On ring.
That's so dope. And then when you were saying marketing the app, and we said this off air, but Ballers World Live. This is branded content. It's
Yes.
to support the app
Yeah.
at Ballers World with a Z. You can go ahead and follow us on Instagram, or you can go ahead and
With a
download the app on iOS. But that's part of what you guys are doing as well. Is you're helping to create that content that then will fall into different brands.
Exactly.
But then create content for your own brand. And so real quick before we end the show, you were talking about a program that you had, or a
Promotion
you guys were doing, right?
The market adoption that you were talking about earlier. How do you get out there? How do you let the people who are on Instagram and Facebook know about this? We're going to do a live competition show that you can only find on Ranked. That basically the call to action is come to Ranked, upload any video or any piece of content that you want in over 70 different categories, and you have a chance to win in over 70 different categories. And we're going to treat it kind of like an America's Funniest Home Videos.
Awesome.
I've been talking to
That's cool.
I've been talking to my manager
that show.
about bringing on a specific talent, like Roxy Diaz, wink, wink, to come on and host this show. But it would allow anybody from the
Ivana.
age
Kiki.
Or me.
or you.
James
Come on,
Ship
baby,
like
let's
a
go.
boat.
I'm trying to
You
win.
wanna
I don't
make
want to
money,
host
you
it.
wanna
Hey,
make
if you need a
money.
DJ though,
I got videos to upload. I'm trying to win, y'all.
I got mad
that
videos.
while you
They're
host.
competing with each other.
You can upload while you host.
That's good.
That's dope.
So it allows anybody to have an opportunity to win, no matter where you are.
What do they win though? Just the best video?
No, they will.
No,
They win
what-
bragging rights, but they win also a connection to a brand,
That's
to
true.
Apple, to Microsoft, to Nike, to Procter & Gamble, to Adidas, to Puma. And once we
Puma.
really break out, we want
Or
to.
do say.
But how
Connect.
often?
Or do say.
I'm so sorry. How
Yeah.
often though? How often do people win?
It'll be every 7 days.
Every
Awesome.
every
Yeah.
week.
Whoa.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
lit.
something new every week.
Christina's already gonna beat me up after this show. So before we go, we're gonna end the show. Man, I wish we had more time. We
right?
messing
I
up. But
wish.
where can everybody find you?
Yes.
And how can they follow? Download Ranked on iOS and Android?
Not yet.
Okay.
This is we're promoting it right now.
Right.
We're
End of-
full. We're in
end
the
of
road
2017.
trip. Yes, end of 2017. But go to www.goranked.com and
So
you
what did
can
I sign up for today? If
You
if-
signed up. You signed up for the website.
a website.
We're live alpha testing. So
Okay, it was chill,
awesome.
guys.
we have testers all around the world.
That's
now we're gonna have some ballers world.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, I'm getting
Testers.
it as soon as we end the show.
Mhm.
And is there any social media that they can follow Ranked at?
Yeah, check us out. We're on Twitter at Ranked10, Ranked app on Twitter, and just me, Humphries, Taylor Humphries on Google, and you'll find all my social media.
I saw.
But right now
Turn
we're
up.
trying to get as many users
That's
on
it.
Ranked as possible.
That's it, man.
Make sure y'all download Ranked.
Congratulations. Thank you so much for coming on the
Thank
show,
you.
man.